Okay, can you use points to book a rental car? Yes or no? We are answering that question in today's episode, along with all of our best money-saving tips on car rentals. And we're sharing one tip that has saved us hundreds and hundreds of dollars over the past couple of years on rental cars. So tune in and we'll catch you there. Hi, I'm Rhea.
And I'm Dwayne.
And we are your hosts of the Travel Party of Five podcast, where we share how we travel as a family of five around the world.
We will also share how we use points and miles to travel as affordably as possible and sometimes even completely free.
So if you're wanting to travel more with your family, but you're not sure how, we'd love for you to listen in.
So welcome to our podcast where we hope you learn a thing or two to get you closer to your next trip.
Dun, 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 dun. Welcome back to Travel Party of Five podcast.
Welcome back.
I like to change up the intro without giving Dwayne any warning and then
None.
just look at his face. Okay, so before we get into today's episode, we are really quick going to share a quick giveaway that we are doing, which is pretty exciting. So here's the deal. We need podcast reviews, and so we are going to do a $50 gift card of your choice giveaway, and I'll tell you how to enter in a second. Basically, I will buy you any gift card of your choosing. Starbucks, Target, Southwest, really anything I can buy and deliver electronically that is legal, I will buy you that gift card if you win. And here is how to win.
Are there illegal gift cards?
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes, there's like a lot of gift card scams. This is not that. I literally will just buy it and send it to you. Okay, so here's how you can enter to win. So number one, leave us a review on iTunes. Number two, screenshot that review and email it to us at travelpartyof5@gmail.com. So TRAVELPARTY, the number 5@gmail.com.
You forgot of.
Oh, crap. Okay, hold on.
Travelpartyof5@gmail.
Let me spell it again and maybe Dwayne can edit that. Okay. Travelpartyof5@gmail. TRAVEL. You spell it.
I think people can figure it out. Travelpartyof5.
The
At
number
Gmail.
5.
Yes.
Do not spell it out. Okay. Send us a screenshot via email. We will enter you to win. I feel like your chances are going to be pretty good. So please and thank you. And winner will be chosen and notified on September 7th, and we will likely announce it on the September 9th podcast episode for full transparency, because I really hate when people say they're going to do a giveaway and then you just kind of feel like they didn't actually do a giveaway even though you did what they asked. So that is not what's happening here. Also, on a fully other side note tangent, the other day, Dwayne and I were talking to like a neighbor friend about some upcoming trips that we have. And we basically realized this is why we have this podcast, is because when we talk to people in real life about the amount of trips that we have upcoming, they look at us like we are fully insane. And I mean, do you agree with that?
I do agree with that. I also had a coworker the other day tell me that he canceled his Travel Channel subscription because he just watches our Instagram.
That's funny. As a side note, not planned, but follow us on Instagram at Travel Party of 5. We share lots of behind the scenes fun back there. And it's more up to date than the podcast. Like, not up to date, but like more things happen in real time. Yeah. So anyways, okay. Let's get into rental cars. And Dwayne is laughing at the outline that I made for this episode because my first item is
The first item on this list is determine how many people are in your family, and then go from there when picking out a vehicle. So, like, I'm one, Ray is two, we have 3 kids, so that makes it 2, 3, carry the 4. So 5 of us. So then we go from there. So there's 5 of us in our family, and then we, that's how we decide.
I'm crying. I'm literally crying. Okay, that is not what I meant. What I wrote was decide the kind of vehicle you need, okay? Because the smaller the car, the cheaper it is. And so what I wrote is, if you're a family of 4, you can easily rent.
Yes, you can easily rent a sedan.
Yes. I just did my makeup and now I'm like crying mascara all over the place. Okay, okay. We have 5 people. We unfortunately cannot rent a sedan. I would love to. They're always cheaper. But here's why this is important, is because when you get into the SUV arena of rental cars, a lot of them will say like, oh yeah, you can fit 5 people and like 4 bags. But what they sometimes don't put is that you can't fit those 5 people and 4 bags at the same time. Because sometimes when you have to pop up a 3rd row to get another seat, you lose half the trunk space or all of the trunk space, depending on the car.
Yep.
So that is the only thing I meant by you need to figure out the size of vehicle you need. Okay. Obviously, logically, people know how to count.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're having trouble deciding on what size car you need, just reach out to us at travelparty5@gmail.com and we can answer your questions for you.
Stop. Oh, my Lord. Okay. Okay. The other thing, and here, this is important, is you have to consider, do you have kids in car seats? Because the car seat takes up more space than just a regular human body. That sounded weird. I mean, so could our kids fit 3 across in a back seat? Not really. We still have one in a rear-facing car seat and another one in a booster. And then our oldest is almost an adult size. Like, he's the size of a small adult. So, okay. Now that we've got that out of the way and everyone knows how many people are in their family, here's the best places to book car rentals based on our experience. Okay. Number 1, we use a website like Costco Travel to book.
Which a lot of people don't realize Costco rents cars.
Yeah, well, so they're like the intermediary. Yeah. So they don't. It's not like you're renting from Costco.
Through Costco.
Yes, you go through Costco and then you rent from like Enterprise or National or Avis or Budget or Dollar or whatever's cheapest. You do need a Costco membership to do that, and then the way that you do that is it's different from Costco.com. So you actually will go to CostcoTravel.com. You'll set up a new account, so it'll be different than your regular Costco login. And then you can book that way. Now, the reason we like Costco is a couple of things. 1, they really often have the best rates. And then 2, you can add a second driver for free. So a lot of rental car companies will charge like $10 or $20 a day to add a second driver. But Costco, it's always free. And so this is great because even though Dwayne is the predominant driver on vacation and in life, there have been times where I've needed to drive and it was nice not to have to stress like, oh my God, I'm not on the rental agreement, because we're not going to pay an extra $100 or $200 for that every time.
No.
So
it's not worth it.
And so then beyond Costco Travel, the other website I like, and this is the one that has saved us hundreds of dollars, so this is important. There's a website called AutoSlash, and the name needs some work because I was actually really opposed to it for a long time because I just thought it sounded kind of sleazy. I don't know. But then I looked into it and I was like, oh, this actually is really helpful. So it works one of 2 ways. Number 1, you can go on AutoSlash and you can book a car rental the same way that you would through Costco Travel or any like Expedia, Travelocity, or any direct car rental website. And they do check Costco as one of their options. So like you'll go through a questionnaire and it'll ask you like what memberships do you have, and so you check the Costco box and then it knows to check Costco Travel. Or the other way you can use it is you can book your rental through Costco Travel or any other site, like any other rental car site, and then you submit basically a request to watch the fare or the rate. So you submit your rental car confirmation, the company you booked with, and the cost, and then it will like watch the price for you and send you an email if and when the price drops. and then you can decide if you want to rebook at the lower price.
Yeah, it's very helpful, convenient.
Super convenient, and this has literally saved us hundreds of dollars. Last year when we went to Maui, our car rental was originally $800, and it ended up dropping down to $300 using AutoSlash. So, I mean, yeah, that was
Money saver.
That was a great savings. And so our upcoming trip actually to Kauai right now, when I first booked it, the rental was around $700, which is so high. And I've already gotten one email to rebook it for around $650, which I did, but I'm really hoping that it drops more because that is still a lot to me for a 1 week's rental.
But I mean, I'm sure it's supply and demand there.
I know. I'm just really hoping.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it goes down too. That's
it's a lot of money
a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay. And then, so another way to save money on rental cars is to cut down on all of the extras. So rental cars really love to nickel and dime you with the insurance and the this and the that and the Sirius XM car and the GPS. And okay, like we don't need GPS. We have phones.
Don't need satellite either.
Yeah, you don't need satellite radio. Like, come on.
Yeah, especially if you have a playlist like mine.
Okay. But the number one thing I think people buy is the insurance. And so I always, like my dad always told me growing up that you don't buy the insurance because your primary car insurance will cover you. I think that there's a lot of misinformation where people think that it doesn't, but here's what we do. So we always decline the insurance and we use a credit card that offers primary rental car insurance. So primary means that the insurance that you get from using that credit card to book and pay for the car rental is going to be used first before even your own personal car insurance. Now, if it were secondary insurance, obviously then that means that your personal car insurance would be first and anything else would be, secondary through the credit card. So a couple of cards that offer primary travel insurance are going to be, and this is not an exhaustive list, but this is just a few of the popular ones, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and the Capital One Venture X. The other thing to note is there's also a lot of business credit cards that offer this coverage too, but sometimes they specify in their terms that you need to be renting the car for business purposes. And while I'm not sure how they would prove that, it's not something I want to stress about. So we only ever use our Chase Sapphire Preferred or Reserve, depending on who's renting the car. Usually it's Dwayne, so we use his Chase Sapphire Preferred card. I think the other thing to note is there are going to be times where you cannot decline all of the insurance, and that is country specific. So in the US, you can. But for example, in Costa Rica, there are 3 different types of coverage that are mandatory, and the credit card coverage only covers one of them. So when we were in Costa Rica, we still had to pay for the other 2 insurance, whatever they were, and it was not cheap. Like the rental car was not cheap. So
didn't we also have to print out something from the bank? I had to request something from the bank, right?
Yeah, that was showing that you had the one piece of insurance through the credit card.
Yep.
Another thing that can cost extra money as a daily fee when you're renting a car is a car seat or a booster seat. So in the past, we've brought our own car seats, and we've predominantly done this when our kids were little. Number one, because it saves money. You don't have to pay the daily car seat rental fee, but also it keeps them confined on the plane. So I think if I had a kid under 2, I'm going to try to bring my car seat on the plane to strap them in.
Yeah. It's easier.
Yeah. It's safer for them, and it's just they're comfortable in the car seat and they're not trying to get out and run around the plane.
Yeah. And there's a car you can buy to make it easier.
Yeah.
You can wheel it through the airport, and you check it right at the what's it called?
The jet bridge.
Yep, jet bridge.
Yeah. Now, for a slightly older kid, like our daughter is 4, but she's still in a rear-facing car seat, we're gonna when we go to Kauai in a month or 2, we're gonna rent the car seat from the rental car company. Sometimes they don't even charge you. Like in Costa Rica, I think it was Costa Rica. Didn't the guy just tell you to go in the room and pick out what you needed?
No, that was Washington, D.C.
Oh. Yeah. So Dwayne just went in and picked out a car seat and a booster. And I'm pretty sure we didn't pay for them, but I don't know. And then, so for our middle son, who's 7, he's still in a booster seat. He's still pretty small. For him, we have an inflatable travel booster seat that we can bring. It's called a Bubble Bum, and we've used it for both.
Bubble bum.
Oh, Lord. Oh, we've had different energy on this podcast today. So we've used this inflatable booster for both of our 2 older boys, and it's been really fantastic. I can put an Amazon link to that in the show notes if you want to get it, but it's really lightweight. Obviously, it inflates, so you blow it up, and then you just deflate it when you're done. The other thing that I wanted to talk about while we're on the note of car seats and boosters and all that, one thing that we have not used yet, I don't know if you've seen these around the internet or not, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get this for our daughter for our trips next year. And it's called a Ride Safer vest. And so she'll be 5 next year, but she's still really small. And so I don't think the inflatable booster will be enough for her. Like, it won't be enough support. So the Ride Safer vest is literally a vest that the kid puts on, and it mimics the 5-point harness of a traditional car seat. And it works with the vehicle's regular seatbelt to strap them in. So they wear the vest, then they get in the car, and you put the seatbelt of the car like through the vest in a couple spots. And the vest has like a tether that you tether to the back of the seat in the car.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen this.
I'll put a link to this in the show notes too, the Amazon link. It's not cheap. It's like almost $200. Maybe like $190. So it is a little bit of an investment, but I think even if you're just going to travel a couple of times a year over 2 to 3 years with a young kid, it would pay for itself because you'll save on car seat fees, and then you're not going to have the stress of having to carry the car seat through the airport. Even with the roller, it gets a little bulky. So, and it's just not fun. And the other thing is, one of the things that we sometimes get stuck on when we travel is we cannot take a taxi with the kids, right? Because we're not going to, like, what do you do with a car seat once you get to where you're going? You know what I mean?
No, I have to look it up because I'm curious to see what it looks like.
Yeah, look it up and tell me what you think. But yeah, so we can never take a taxi. And so next year we're going to Paris, we're going to Spain, and we'll be in Japan. And I just think there's going to be times where we need to take a taxi here and there. And our 2 boys will be fine, right? They'll be 8 and 11 at the time, but our daughter will definitely still need something. And so this is my plan for that. Did you look it up?
I did. Yeah, it's like a little vest.
Yeah, but it's like,
yeah,
it's like thick, like straps
like
and yep.
Yeah, it's fancy. Whoa, this one on Amazon costs $355.
Okay, well, we're not buying that one.
Whoa.
It's the other thing to note, this is from their website. So the Ride Safer travel vest is designed for children ages 2 and up and meets or exceeds all crash test requirements and federal motor vehicle safety standards. So, I mean, it's safe, I would say.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't know that I would use it for a 2-year-old. I guess I'll add that if I'm being totally honest. But I think 4 or 5 it's a great option while you're in between, those years where they're a little bigger, but they still need a safety seat. Okay. Sorry about that tangent.
Well, this says 3 and up.
On Amazon?
Yeah.
Oh, well, from their website, it says 2. So I don't know. But either way, I wouldn't use it for a 2-year-old. So you can decide what's best for your family while you're adding up how many people are in your family.
Again, if you need help with that, email us at travelpartyof5
okay.
at Gmail.
Thanks.
Help you.
Okay. So there's 2 other ways that you can book and save some money on car rentals. And one is going to be through travel portals. So this is where you can technically, yes, you can use points to book a car rental. So like the Chase portal, the Capital One portal, or even you can book through the American Airlines shopping portal. And you can use like American Airlines miles if you wanted, or you can use Chase points or Capital One points to book the rental so you don't pay out of pocket.
As a side note, next week's episode, we're going to do a deep dive into shopping portals and how you can leverage those to earn more points.
Yeah. So if you're curious about that, make sure to check out next week's episode.
Yep. Where the giveaway is going to be a car.
You get a car and you get a car and you get a car. No one's getting a car. Okay. Okay. So using miles or points to book your rental car is generally not going to be the best use of your points. But if your main goal is just to spend as little cash out of pocket as possible, then this is one way for you to do that. And, I think there's really no one way fits all redemption or use of your points. Like, you just have to do what works best for your family. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, we've never used points to book a rental.
No, we never have. No. But again, like if using points is the only way that you're going to get to take a vacation for a car rental because you don't have $300, $400, $500, $600 to spend in cash, then I think you should do it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the other thing is to use portals. The other thing about portals is this is also a way you can sometimes use your annual travel credits that you get from certain cards. So for example, the Capital One Venture X has a $395 annual fee, but $300 of that you get back in a travel credit. The only caveat is you have to book through the Capital One portal. So you would have to book your rental car through the portal. They would give you the $300 and you would be on your way. I have found when I have looked to do this that often the prices for car rentals in the portal is a little higher than what you'd find if you'd booked directly with the company or on Costco or AutoSlash like we mentioned. But again, if it's the only way that you can use that credit for the year, I would do it.
For sure.
The Chase Sapphire Reserve also has a $300 travel credit. And for this one, you don't need to book through a portal, which is amazing. So the only thing that needs to happen is the transaction has to code as travel, which rental cars do. And then the $300 credit is automatically applied to your statement. So that's a really good way to use that credit. Remember last year we used it when our van was having work done and we had a rental car and we actually just used it to pay for that. Yep. And we got the credit. It wasn't even on a trip. And then the last tip that we have is having status with a rental car company can also save you some money and or get you like added perks and upgrades. I think it's generally fairly difficult to earn status with a rental car company unless you're doing a lot of work travel and like you rent, on a weekly or monthly basis. Oh. But some of the higher end credit cards will give you status just by having the card. So we'll talk about what a couple of those are, like just the popular ones, because, you can get like with the status, you can get like free upgrades and whatever. So there's, the Platinum card from American Express, as well as the Business Platinum card from American Express, both give you Avis Preferred Plus, Hertz President's Circle, and National Emerald Club Executive Elite status. Actually, I apologize. The Business Platinum only gets you Hertz Gold, not President's Club. The other ones are the same. These are things that you have to enroll for. So like you'll get approved for the card and then you have to take the additional step to enroll in like the Avis or the Hertz or the National. The Chase Sapphire Reserve also gives you Avis Preferred Plus and National Emerald Club Executive Elite status. That is quite the mouthful.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I didn't even know there were all these statuses.
I know.
Stati? for renting a car.
Yeah. Yep. And then the Capital One Venture X is the other one. So again, these are all premium cards, right? I think the lowest annual fee between the four that I've mentioned is $395. The highest is $695. So maybe not a beginner thing, right? More intermediate level. But the Capital One Venture X gives you, again, Avis Preferred Plus, Hertz President's Circle, and the National Emerald Club one. the caveat here is the Hertz President's Circle status is going away at the end of this year from the Capital One specifically. So I actually just applied for that this morning, even though it'll only be good for the next 4 months through the end of the year. But number one, I wanted to see what the process was. And number two, I want to see if we'll be able to use it when we rent the car in Kauai. So it was easy. I went into my Capital One thing. I clicked a few buttons. I Googled how to do it, and then I did it. It was very simple. You basically just go through your Capital One account and you enroll. And they say it can take up to 72 hours. It took less than an hour before I had an email that said I was enrolled in the Hertz President's Club, whatever.
And like being in these clubs, I'm assuming you just get like a free upgrade or a cheaper.
Yeah. So the Hertz President's Club specifically, you
can
don't
go
even
from like a minivan to like a Cadillac Escalade or something.
Well, no.
probably.
So here's the benefits from the email they sent me. So skip the counter and go straight to your car. Choose from the widest selection of cars. Enjoy guaranteed car class upgrades. Add an additional driver for free. Again, that's not a benefit because we already get that when you book through Costco anyways. Drop the keys and go at rental return and earn 50% more points towards free days and car class upgrades. So those are the benefits for the President's Circle.
I'm just picturing us not going to the counter and straight to
I know
a
it doesn't
car.
really
It's
like it does say, so there's a little like
Excuse me,
asterisk
sir, can I help you?
that says
Don't worry about
available.
me. I'm presidential status.
There's a little asterisk that says that benefit is available at select locations. So I don't know how it works, but maybe we'll be able to figure it out if we rent through Hertz. TBD.
I just see the guy at the counter saying, hey, Bob, looks like that family of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is stealing a van. Hopefully they have presidential status.
Oh, God. Well, those are all the best tips that we have for saving some money on rental cars, including using points if you do see that that is a good option for your family, however many people may be in your family.
And again, if you need help counting the people in your family, email us at travelpartyof5@gmail.com.
Okay, but on a more serious note, as a reminder, we are doing a giveaway, $50 gift card. Please leave us a review on iTunes. We would be so grateful, and we will catch you on the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.
Bye.